Shoot, we were live while we were doing that. Oh well, behind the scenes, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. You see it?
No, not yet. I don't.
All right, give me a second. Share it to my
Yeah.
timeline.
Well, why isn't mine doing it?
Go down some more.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Sometimes mine takes a minute.
Yeah, mine too.
In 5, 4, 3,
Oh wow, we already got viewers.
Like it's
Two.
not doing it.
1.
Hello, hello, people.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
It's Wide Awake. I'm Gracie Phoenix
I'm Miss Epic.
in the house, and I told you the song was gonna start as soon as we got live, didn't I? Dang, I'm good. I'm a
You
DJ
did.
in my spare time. I'm like DJ Phoenix. Just saying.
Flying through the ashes
I know.
of music.
I'm flying through 'em.
Do you have a tuxedo shirt that says
Oh my
that
God,
you're
I need-
professional, yet ready to party?
No, but I have one for my son, my 4-year-old. He has a tuxedo shirt, so cute. Oh my god.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, we already got people tuning in. What's
Yes,
up,
we
y'all?
do. What's up? You go.
Donna Marie, Jerome Hill. What up, Romy? Jessica. Jessica.
Hi,
Sandoval.
Jessica. Hi,
Miranda. That's my boo. That's my boo.
we got Moday watching, and Jerome is watching.
I'm still trying to catch
Hey,
up.
y'all. Now, you have some that I don't have, too, so.
It
it's all
always
great.
does that.
I know, right?
No, I'm trying.
Nah, Shay.
No, I'm trying.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is Wide Awake Live, yo. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the last episode of the first season, so congrats, clap. Thank
Episode 12. I can't believe it's been 12
episodes.
episodes. It's been 2.5 months. Like, it just seems like yesterday
That we
we were
started.
just started talking about doing it. And now here we are, like, the first episode is done. So,
I'm so excited because I was just talking to Marquise out of Pennsylvania about our syndication. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I was telling him about how we started, and we were just having a conversation in the living room, just chatting. And you know, you were like, "We should do a live stream. We should do a podcast." I was like,
You was not feeling it at all.
"No."
At all. Like, y'all have to understand, I had to, like, really convince her to do this. She was not feeling it at all.
No.
I was like that annoying little coworker that's always trying to, like, hang out and kick it, like text and call, like, come on, let's do it. And finally, she gave in. Are you happy you gave in?
I'm happy I gave in. I caved.
Yeah.
I caved in, and also, you know what I'm saying, Chris QB Media was like, he came to me, he was like, "Gracie, we should do a podcast." I was like, "Oh my god, 2 of y'all."
Yeah. See,
I
so it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. It
I really
was.
wasn't feeling it though. I was like, oh, I didn't.
Now
but
she's
yeah.
feeling it.
And now we're syndicated, y'all, out of Pennsylvania. So check that out.
Syndicated.
You know what I'm saying? We syndication with the TCP network out of Pennsylvania. They have the East Coast on lock. They got Atlanta on lock. They got DC on lock. And they also, I guess we
Yeah.
part of the team now.
Part of the team now. So shout out to y'all for y'all even wanting us to be a part of the team. Y'all saw something in us, so you know we appreciate that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I talked to Marquise today. He gave us like mad props about how raw it is, and how real it is, and how fun it is, and how interactive it is, and
Real raw, uncut. Remember that.
where we talk about sex, love, and
everything in between.
Yeah, brah.
You know what I'm saying?
So now I'm saying,
It's
so,
dope.
yeah. So it's exciting. It's gonna be a little bitter. Well, I guess it is a little bittersweet that because I'm like, oh, this is the last show, the first season.
First episode. First season. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But hey, it's gonna be nice to have a little break, and let me tell y'all, when we come back for season 2, it's gonna be like innovated. A lot of things are gonna change. We're gonna have a lot of. Y'all don't even know what we got up our sleeves.
Yeah.
You know, which y'all should already know we got something.
you already
All
know
crazy.
we got some. Yeah, you know, like Charles.
A plethora.
How about
of
Charles?
things. Oh, Charles.
We're gonna bring Charles
We're gonna
into
bring
the
Charles.
show into season 2.
Charles is this this guy from Wyoming that has a crush on Gracie, and he they went on their first date actually yesterday.
Oh my
So-
god! And what happened?
Y'all went and got henna tattoos. I went too, just so you guys
She's
know.
Charles, y'all. Okay, we got our henna tattoos. We got our hands tatted up. You know what I'm saying? It washes off, you know, after a couple weeks or
After a couple
whatever.
weeks.
So
So to give a little background, because a lot of people have seen our henna tattoos, it is an Indian cultural. They do henna tattoos, and it's normally just for women's weddings. But now it has also just become more of a form of art, you know,
Art.
something that's very artistic, very beautiful. So I work with a lot of people who are from Pakistan and from India. So shout out to y'all. I know that they, you know, were like, oh, I love it. So, you know, just to experience different cultures and to embrace it. It's not just a fashion statement.
It's not.
You know?
It's not. It's you know, it's cultural. It's art. And I was Muslim for a long time, and you know, the Muslim women, even those that convert into Islam that are like American or any other, you know, not origin, but any other nationality, they convert into Islam. I mean, women, you know, find themselves in you know, in love with the art and stuff like that too, because, you know, Islam is like you know, from the Arab culture and stuff like that. So it's all like in there. I thought it's
dope. It is, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, you know. So celebrating other cultures and just what things that other people do, you know, like it's dope. So I'm happy you invited me to go. I love it.
Next time we're gonna get black, y'all. But
Yeah,
but
and I
this
want to dial
still-
the way at my arm.
Yeah, I wanna. This is so pretty. I'm sorry. I just want to like touch my face or something so y'all can see it throughout the show.
It's like this.
Just sit here like this.
That's how you gonna do it.
For the whole show.
Oh,
Just
David,
playing.
what's up, David? All the way out from Florida. We got
Okay.
Florida in the building.
Got Florida in the house, yo. Florida
Yes,
Wardy.
yes.
Florida Wardy. What it do, boo?
What it do, boo?
Right. So yeah, you want to get into the
Let's
first-
get into it.
Let's
So,
get into it.
we had like a great conversation yesterday. We always have great conversations. I think we need to have like Chris follow us around just anytime that we hang out, because we have like these amazing conversations and y'all just have no idea the stuff the shenanigans that we are up to on a consistent basis.
Consistent.
But yesterday we were talking about insecurities and we all have them. We definitely all have a male, female, whatever the case may be. But we were talking about now in today's society how a lot of women feel like they have to have big breasts, they have to have a big ass, perfectly straight white teeth, flat stomach. You know, there's this ideal of what being beautiful is. And so a lot of women fall into that trap of feeling like they have to look a certain type of way in order to be considered beautiful. And from what we were talking about yesterday.
We got into something kind of funny, but it's true though. I mean, like.
Okay, so I want me to tell my story first, which led into your story.
Yeah.
Okay,
Work it
so
out. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. We got glitches,
a
bitches.
little glitch.
Just playing. What's up?
So I had a friend, and he went on a date, and it just so happened to be one of our really close friends. So he like hit me up. He's like, you know, as they were talking, they wound up finding out that they, you know, I was a mutual friend for both of them, and he's like, yo, like she was dope, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, at the end of the day, he's like, I went to give her a hug, and you know, let my hand slide down her ass, try to give a little touchy
Touchy-feely.
and he was like, she had butt pads on.
Aww,
He was
booty
like,
pads.
booty pads, and he was like, it turned him off. He was like, he was like, she didn't need that. He was like, you know, so for her to feel like she needed to do that, he's like, it wasn't authentic, it wasn't her. He was like, kind of messed everything up. So
So, my story too. I can attest to the booty pads, but let me tell you why.
Yes, let's
No.
talk about the booty pads.
Yes, I was with a man who liked short, dark-skinned, big booty girls, and like that was the ideal woman for him. Those were the pictures he liked on Facebook. Those were the type of videos we watched when we watched nasty videos and stuff. It was never like somebody who looked like me. Just like we
Yeah.
talked about last week during the show, how
Yeah.
you know, liking stuff online. And your partner is a total opposite of that. So do you really like me?
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of how I felt. So I was feeling so insecure that I bought some booty pads too. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna front. I'm not gonna front. Ooh, and they made my booty look so good.
But what's crazy is you already have a nice ass.
To you though, but to him, like, I mean, I'm talking about. Okay, listen,
Okay, I
like
understand
my,
what you're saying.
you know, like,
I do.
you know, I'm talking about an onion booty, one of them Atlanta
Yeah.
booties. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? And I don't have that, and I'm not ashamed. I mean, hey, this is my ass. You
And
know
a lot
what
of
I'm
them
saying? Take it or
Atlanta
leave it.
booties, just so y'all know, is not real. I have a friend who went and got her ass done, and you would not be able to tell that she did. There's a lot of people nowadays who are walking around, and it looks good. I'm not hating, to each their own.
Yep.
But you have so many people who really, that's not what they look like, you know? And there's been so many times I wanted to go get my teeth fixed, but
Yeah.
I'm like, it's me. A part of it's me.
Yeah.
And as much as I would want straight teeth or to look a certain type of way, I've gotten to the place now, like, where there's a lot of people who've told me, like, don't change that. Like, it's sexy. That's something that is a part of who you are. There's not another Janelle. There's not another Gracie. There's not another one of any of you who are watching. So at the end of the day, we all have insecurities, but that's what makes us us.
I'm glad you can embrace your, because I mean, I'm getting braces. So we both getting braces pretty soon anyway here. Shout out to my homegirl Suge, who just got her braces. Her teeth look amazing. I'm like, dang, you know, so
Yeah.
it's okay, you know, to, you know, if you want to like modify something to make it, you know, better. But I mean, my whole thing is, when somebody can make you feel that low to where you need to get breast implants, or you feel like you're, you know, you don't have enough hair, so you wear wigs or whatever. Like my ex was adamant about me wearing makeup. I'm like, what, dude? Like I don't need makeup. I'm not trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody needs it. You know, it does enhance the beauty and stuff. But I'm just saying, like some people are just like, they make you feel so insecure that, and that's the part, you know, that I don't really agree with. You know, I don't mind if you're doing it for you.
I was gonna say, if you're doing it for yourself,
Yeah.
then that's fine. That's one thing. But even like you said, talking about getting braces, I don't know if I want to do it now.
I want braces.
I used to want to get breast implants. I don't like, and it's not. I don't want nothing all big and crazy. Like
I just take the A cups that I already have. Can you just lift them a little?
just lift them a little. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have kids, like things change. But at the end of the day, like I don't know. Like, it's just something to think about. And I understand where you're coming from, because I just lost a lot of weight recently due to stress. I lost like almost 20 pounds in like a month and a half, 2 months. And
that's a lot of weight in a month,
And I've always been curvy. And now I'm like petite, and my butt don't look the way it used to. And that's something that everyone call me booty. My booty's not the booty it used to be.
Got a booty.
It's not the way it used to be. It's still there.
She got the booty between the two of us. She got the booty.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyways. No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Oh. Gotta accentuate the ass.
But it made me very insecure, like losing all that weight. And, you know, a lot of you're like, quit tripping. You know, my homegirl Kathy, quit tripping. Like, you look good. But for me, I'm used to being a certain weight, a certain size. Like, you know, so I was kind of like,
I know.
Kind of made me feel a certain type of way.
Oh my God.
You know?
After I had like all of my kids, I had 4 kids, but especially the last one I remember specifically because it was the most recent, obviously. But after I had him, like I'm telling you, because you know I had milk in the boobs, so my boobs were like out to here.
Luscious.
It was luscious.
I love it.
Succulent.
Yes.
My ass, my thighs. I had like my thighs were like 2.
Yes.
And my butt, it was just, I was so sexy.
Would you just stand in the mirror naked and look at yourself?
Yeah, because I was like, damn, I had a beautiful body.
Yes.
Like after I had my kids, I'm talking about I'm talking about after the 6 weeks. You know, I'm not saying immediately after, but like after the 6 weeks and stuff, when you were, you know, when you still had all the baby weight. Oh my God, I love my body, and then I started losing it. I was like, oh man, it's going away. I'm like, then I got like,
can't no one tell you nothing. I went to Jamaica like probably 4 or 5 months after I had my daughter, so I still had like the baby tummy and shit. Girl, couldn't no one tell me shit. I was on the beach. I had my 2-piece on. Titties was full of milk, looking great. Right. Like ass was phenomenal. Like I said, still had the stomach. Couldn't no one tell me shit.
Aww.
Nothing. Girl, I should have been like Baywatch, running across the damn
beach.
She said,
oh my God. No, you're going to be like Martin. About Martin, you know how he did it. What movie was that? Christmas movie was that? Was that Norbit? What was that? No.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was Norbit. Yeah.
What movie was that?
That was Eddie Murphy.
Was it Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, she had that swimsuit
or Martin. It was Eddie Murphy. It was Eddie Murphy. Yeah, and he was running with the Baywatch.
Yeah.
The big. Oh my God! With the.
That was. I'm telling you. Couldn't no one tell me nothing.
I know that's right. Yeah.
I said stretch marks and all. I give 2 shits. Like I earned all of this.
I earned all mine too.
I said before it goes away.
Let me show it off, girl. I was showing off all of mine. I was like, I had like my boob. I had this bra and it was too small because I mean you know when you have babies and you have milk in your boobs, like the bra that you originally could fit before is like way too small, so it's like sucking them in and boom, I was just like
felt like a Playboy bunny.
Yeah, I did for a second. I was like,
oh yeah, you didn't even need no one to tell you shit. You just laying on the bed taking pictures.
Norbit. Like. Jerome said Norbit. You're right. Thank you.
It was Norbit.
It was Norbit. You know, yeah.
Papa Vu said DIA. I made my first music from DIA. Shout out Uncle Zay.
Oh, word up. What up? Thanks for watching. Gary's watching too. Hey Gary, what's up?
Sergio's my people right there.
What's up, Sergio? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in, y'all. If y'all just catching in, if y'all just tuning in, you want to catch you guys up. We're talking about insecurities and how insecurities can make you feel like you need to get some work done on yourself, whether it's because a man makes you feel that way or just because yourself, you know, you just feel that bad about yourself. So, you know.
I had a really close friend who lived with me at one point in time, and she would like never get out, like when she got out the shower, get dressed in the bathroom, and me, when I get out the shower, I'm walking around butt naked. put lotion on. I'm vacuuming
Yeah,
the floor with
She was vacuuming. Can I tell them?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
She was vacuuming y'all yesterday in a thong. I was like, damn, her man would love this. This is amazing. And her ass was jiggling. I was like, oh, that's so cute. I mean, it was cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, me and Janelle, we have a relationship. Yeah, our relationship is not sexual, but we don't, because women don't mind walking around naked in front of each other. It's really not a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guys, you can't walk around with guys like, hey, let me see your dick. You know what I'm saying?
That dick swinging.
My shit needs to left a little bit. For real, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Right, my line is hot. I just got hot. Oh, damn. I saw your face turn.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Chris is over there trying not to laugh.
But yesterday when I'm vacuuming, I'm like in my own world, and Gracie like, you're vacuuming like in the thong, your ass is jiggling everywhere, and I'm like, this is me, and I'm talking, we taking shots and just chilling, like that's me.
I respect that. Like,
That's
you know,
me.
That's cool. I like that.
I enjoy being naked. I enjoy, like, I don't care, like where I'm at and who I am.
Yeah, you're
like I've
comfortable with your
earned this.
body.
I'm very, but
some women
my-
are just not comfortable
so my
with it. Some
friend
men
from-
too. Like men aren't
the same
men,
way.
Yeah.
So after my friend lived with me with a long time, she was like, because of you, she learned to embrace her body. She used to be like very insecure. She didn't want anyone to see her naked. She was like, because of how you were and being around me allowed
snap.
her to be at that place, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry.
up, Coach?
I cut you off. Sorry, my bad. That was
He
my
said,
bad.
ain't nothing wrong with chores and your chonies.
And your Tonys. And your Tonys, you know.
For real.
Yes, sir.
If
What's
the
good?
kids aren't at home, I will clean in my, like, just my underwear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to take a shower afterwards anyway. So
Right.
like, why am I gonna have all these clothes? I love being naked. I love being free.
Oh my God.
That's the
Wow,
natural
man,
form.
free. No, DJ Big Boss said, what's up? Hey, how you doing?
Without.
We
That's
got
my boy.
Gary was like, yo,
He
hello.
said, the face
The
that.
face, he did the woo.
Yeah. I'm
We got
saying,
Amar.
like,
Amar is watching. He's all the way. He's from Senegal, you know what I'm saying? But he lives in New York, I think. So yeah,
What up,
shout
East
out
Coast
to
and
yeah.
Senegal?
And Senegal, big up, yo. So yeah. Anyway,
That's dope.
that was we just had to talk about that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Insecurities, you know what I'm saying?
It's important for, especially for women, to know who've had kids that your body's not. Some women are blessed and very fortunate
To
where
not
their
get
body
stretched.
goes back to the way it used to be. But you saw the pictures I posted on Instagram
Yeah.
of me in my swimsuit, and I had stretch marks. I mean, it still looks good, especially after having 3 kids. But at the same time, like, that's not the norm for everyone. Like, embrace who you
Shoot,
are.
I know some girls that don't have no stretch marks. I'm like,
I have a few of
I
them.
hate you. I don't like y'all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding. I love y'all, but
No, I don't.
still.
It's like I'm playing.
I mean, I wish I was you, or I wish I had that luck, you know, that luck and that luxury, but, you know, I'm just like, dang. But anyway,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But shout out to hey, Amar. Shout out to y'all that don't get no stretch marks. I know, lady, the one we just saw, she ain't got no stretch marks. My homegirl, Tyra ain't got no stretch marks. My homegirl, Najee ain't got no stretch marks. 8 kids each. I'm like, damn.
Must be nice.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang.
Must be nice.
Like Jennings in the house. Yeah.
Hey, what it is, what it is.
What it do?
You know what I'm saying? So.
You want to go to the, we got a juicy one.
Oh, I had to call you last week, and I was like, just laughing. You know, 2018 has been such a difficult year for me. Now when things happen, it doesn't really affect me the way that it probably would have before. I'm not a very emotional person. I'm very analytical. I think about everything before I say anything, do anything. So after last week's show, we were talking about how being in a relationship and you being online and liking people's pictures or just doing things that will cause your partner to feel some type of way.
Uncomfortable.
So while we were in the show, I was talking about how my ex-husband, we had issues due to him doing some of those behaviors. Pissed him off. So I started getting like all these hate text messages, him calling me, saying some really mean and hurtful things, and you know, I let him vent. I didn't say anything, still haven't said anything. So that was, I guess, the first time he ever watched the show. So if you're watching the show, yes, I am talking about you.
Sorry.
Before the show ever started, I told him that we were going to be doing Wide Awake and that it was going to be a podcast based off of our lives, life experiences, the things that we have been through. It was going to be about love, relationships, sex, and just real life. And he was very supportive at that time. And I asked him,
so supportive that he even kept your
Daughter
your
on
guys' daughter on
Tuesdays,
Tuesday night so
I
that
could
we
do the
could do the
show.
show.
And I asked him,
real talk.
do you not want me to include anything that was pertaining to our marriage? He said he was okay with it. But the first time I said something that hit a nerve, then he started being very ignorant. And it's funny to me that people are willing to be like, okay, yeah, it's cool, I'm down with that, because they feel like they're going to get something at the end of it. And this is how I feel. And I'm to the point now, like, where I'm not going to be dumb, but I'm gonna be very authentic and very raw. You were okay with it because you were watching the child every Tuesday. You feel like maybe by you being supportive and being there that it was going to turn into something different than what it was. We've been separated for almost 2 years. There's not anything that's going backwards. The things that he was saying were very hateful, and there were things that I shared with him as a friend post us being married in a relationship. So that's ignorant. If that's how you want to be, if that's how you want to feel, then by all means, boo-boo, do what you do. But what people get twisted in life is they do things based off of temporary circumstances or because they want something. Don't do something based off of what you're going to get out of it in the end. If you're going to do something, do it because you want to do it. I didn't ask you to do that
Thank
shit.
you. That was your decision.
I was honest with you on how that looked. And now you want to get in your feelings because you're not getting what you want. You had it already. You lost it based off of your choices and decisions. So now you mad at me.
And the funny thing is, like, I don't have the luxury of talking to my ex-husband about shit. I mean, we can't even talk about the child that we share together. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's very, very random. And I keep it that way because the least communication I have with him, the better. You know what I'm saying? But at least you have the luxury of being able to even tell your ex, like, hey, we're doing a podcast. Are you comfortable with me sharing certain things? You know, you have that rapport, you have that relationship where you can do that. And I'm sure it'll come back sooner or later. Don't get it twisted.
It will.
But the only thing is, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is that, like, you know, you have that luxury, and that's a good thing. That's something that we were talking about even last week or a couple of weeks ago about how, you know, co-parenting should be. You should be able to communicate with your you know, child's father or mother in that comfortable manner. So I mean, I give you props just for that.
For trying.
That right there deserves an applaud because that's hard. It's super hard to be able to even communicate with my ex. Like,
it is, and it's hard for me. And I feel like I'm always the one that has to swallow my pride and be the one that is an adult and be the one who's like not emotional and take a step back. Because at the end of the day, I'm the type of person, if you really piss me off, I could really hurt somebody.
Thank you.
And I don't want to be that way. I don't. I've worked really hard to get to the place that I'm at to keep fucking with me and see what happens. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that. So, guys in their feelings, you know, it was actually supposed to be NIGGAS in their feelings, you know what I'm saying? But boys, dudes, guys, men, like, Negroes.
If you're gonna do something, do because you want to.
Right.
And if something happens and you feel some type of way, or someone hurt your feelings, or there's an issue, be man enough or woman enough to have that conversation. And we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
We talk about that all the time. That is the basis behind our show.
Period.
Is to be able to communicate and express yourself. We're not talking about communicate the way women say communicate. You know, women say, you don't communicate. Okay, we're not saying it in that kind of annoying, nagging kind of way. We're just like, the way we kind of mean it is like,
figure out a way.
Yeah, figure out a way to express yourself without like leaving shit unsaid.
Or being hurtful and condescending.
Now that right there, being hurtful and condescending, that is gonna get your ass hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because like my ex, same situation. Like we've had a crazy week yet again. I had a similar. Well, it wasn't. I guess it was similar. It was involving the ex. You know what I'm saying? Involving our child, whatever. You know. And he's like, like I said, we don't communicate, but very rarely, and that's because I put those I set those boundaries in place for my own mental and emotional health. You know what I'm saying? So, so why is this Negro text me at 10 o'clock at night? Right? Okay, let me finish. And then at 11 o'clock at night, fixing an autocorrect typo that that he made in his message an hour ago about a standing agreement that we have had about our child for a year and a half now. Like, he knows the answer to this question. Why the fuck are you texting me at 10 and 11 o'clock about the shit you already know the answer to? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You know, like I was telling,
Playing
playing games. I was telling Janelle, and I'll tell you guys how I responded. But Janelle said, you know, she would have, you know, her exes and stuff. You know, hey, you know, how you doing? And you know, it's been a long time, and I would love to. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings and all this stuff. And you know, what I'm saying whatever. Like you have those people that come back and say sorry and stuff like that, which is okay. I hands down, I give you that. That's beautiful. But this Negro doesn't even have the audacity. He doesn't have the decency to do that. Like what he likes to do is go subtly. And find some kind of, it's a passive kind of way of saying, like, you know, of trying to get to me some kind of way, trying to find a way to communicate with me. Like that's nigga, when you go to work, it's 8 to 5, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are your hours? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to respond like by telling him, look, I had to be straight up and I had to be super dry about it. And I told him, I said, hey, Marquise is watching. What's up? I had to be super dry about it. And I was like, I can't remember verbatim how I responded, but I was just like, you know, I prefer to communicate on a specific app that's, you know,
for parenting.
for parenting, and the court's ordered it or whatever. So I prefer to communicate here. Let's chat on there or whatever, because that way the court can have all of our communication, because he knows the answer to this question. And now he's just acting stupid. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, that's fine and that's good and that's okay. I'm okay with that. But can you answer the question? I was like, please refer to the app and we'll chat there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't have to
straight
answer
up.
the question. You already know the answer.
You know the
question.
answer, dude. Like you already, it's straight up. It was your idea. He was the one that came up with the idea
to do
for
it.
the parenting arrangement, the arrangement that we have.
Stop the games. Stop it.
And I know you watched the show too,
Stop
bro.
it.
So yeah, we got a lot of
I
comments.
want Jessica real quick said, have y'all ever been in a situation where your man saw your stretch marks from having kids and didn't like that for whatever reason? You know, I don't think a man's ever told a woman, I ain't gonna have sex with you because you got stretch marks. Just like Cat Williams said, he was like, women be tripping talking about, oh, do you have a plum on your toenails?
Right.
Oh hell no, that's last season.
Right, that's last. Yeah, men don't care about that.
It,
you know
it was funny because we saw a meme too, and it was like a old homeless lady, like, and it was like men will have sex with anyone, and at the end of the day, they might be the only one time.
They might think it in their head, but I've never had anyone tell me that they don't like me. Everybody not everybody, but because it's not like that many, but I'm just saying, like, anybody that I've been with sexually has been, you know, they've been pro stretch marks. Like, okay, well, damn, you know, you look pretty, you're a woman, you got kids. You know, it's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
So, yeah.
That's, I mean, even you don't have just to have kids. I had stretch marks on my ass before I had kids. On my sides, I'm tall. A lot of women do.
Even men have stretch marks on their butt right here too. Some of them get them on their arms right here.
Men with everywhere.
Yep.
I was gonna say
everywhere.
Wait,
on the PP too.
I was just about to say. I wonder.
No, they're gonna think your dick got too big. It's just like, oh damn, it fell down to the floor. I got stretch marks on my ding-a-ling, y'all. Goddamn.
Well, you already knew where my mind was going. We hang out entirely way too much. I just looked at you and you were like, ding.
Got stretch marks on my ding-a-ling. No, if you get stretch marks on your ding-a-ling, your ding-a-ling must be way too big, okay? For real, that's a big ding.
Oh my gosh.
Good Lord. Chris is trying not to laugh.
That's why you're trying to hold it in.
Look at his face. That was priceless.
There's times like when we're having like conversations and I can tell Chris is like, oh my gosh.
That was freaking priceless. Y'all should have seen his face.
Just like when I was talking about the dad that was trying to give it to me.
Yeah.
With the son. He was on the couch like, oh my god.
These
like I
girls.
cannot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's up, yo? We got Tiara watching. We got Whitney watching. What's up? Oh, we have a couple other comments that we haven't had a chance to
do. DJ Big, real quick. He says, so I've had an ideal for a minute that I can't mention because people love to steal your ideals, like they came up with them for themselves. Anyways, thanks for the encouragement to move forward. Oh, that's what's up. Well, I don't know really what that means, but I guess from him watching the show that, yeah.
Word up. Thanks for your comment. That's DJ Big Boss in the house.
Jessica said, girl, it's hard to co-parent when one parent is being selfish and unfair on how a relationship should be with the child.
Real talk. And that's what she hashtag real talk. So I just
that is real talk. And I'm not going to get into the specifics, but because of some life circumstances, I was in a really bad car accident in February, and because of life circumstances right now, like I'm not in a position where I can drive. And so my ex-husband was like, yo, I help you and I'm a lookout for you and you do so much, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as he saw something on the show and got upset, then all of a sudden it's like, fuck you, all that's out the window. And this is my thing. Since we separated and we're no longer together, I'm not the type of person to like go back and forth or play games or like try and tell someone something just because it sounds good so I can get my way. I'm not like that. So it's never been a situation of being misleading or him thinking that it's something different than what it was.
Thank you.
You doing what you do is contingent off of what's going on inside your head. Like
it's not even based on reality. Like
it's not.
Wake up, dude. Like you're never gonna get her back.
It's gone.
You know what I'm saying? Like what you had is gone. Fuck off. You fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a father to your child and you want to help out the mother of your children,
then do that.
But don't base it off of some fucking pre-existing idea that you're going to get back to her.
Happen. It's not going to happen.
No,
I don't go backwards.
Like, I don't think no.
And then people get, as soon as they don't get what they want,
then they start acting childish.
They
start acting. It's like they're acting like a fucking 2-year-old. I swear to God. And now I'm cussing. How old are you? Because now you pissed. Now that struck a nerve because my ex did the same thing last week and shit. Like he turns into this big baby. Like you're not my friend anymore. I'm like, God damn.
Fuck you, bitch.
Right.
Like, then I'm all kind of bitches.
That's not even fuck you, bitch. It's because you know what? Those words don't come out of his mouth.
Not his, but
like,
I'm saying for me
anymore,
personally.
But that's how kids are though. Just like a toddler.
I was all kind of bitches and hoes, and why don't you talk about this on the show, and why don't you talk about that on the show? And let me explain something. Anyone who knows me knows I am like the most transparent person in the world. Even if it's an uncomfortable conversation or an uncomfortable situation, that's just me. I don't know how to be any other way. So for you, he's like, well, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? Season 2, we're really going to get into like more things that are, you know, more at home, that are real raw and uncut. I'm an open book. Like, I have no problem discussing anything that I've been through in life. But this season was more so of y'all getting a chance to really get to know us and our personalities and just having fun.
Next season, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Well, she might not, but there's going to be some things that I want to talk about just because I know there's a lot of people who are struggling with a lot of the things that I struggled with. You know, but for you to get to a point where you have daughters, let me explain something to you. I have 2 daughters. My ex-husband has 3 now. For you to call a woman a bitch, a hoe, a slut.
Thank you. What about your
all
daughters?
these things, and I not only just carried your child for 10 months, not 9 months, let's get it like the facts straight.
Oh my
for
God,
10 months. And after I had my daughter, I had to go through like several reconstructive surgeries because she tore my abdominal wall. I can't even walk.
Yep.
It never, no matter what happened during the course of our marriage, like if I really wanted to be on some fuck shit, I could, but I'm not like that. But I sacrificed my body.
Thank you.
And for you,
and my emotional health, because having a baby takes a toll on your hormones. Like it's crazy. We turn into just.
And through all of your bullshit, all your madness, you want to bring us some shit that happened after we were separated, and now you and your feelings. You just lost one. Now you mad because someone else was able to hit it, and we were still technically married. Let's get real raw and uncut.
How many times have you cheated?
No, I wasn't even cheating. If you pack up your shit and move out and leave your family,
the relationship is over.
And we're separated 7 months later, and I sleep with someone. You talking about? Oh, well, we were married, nigga. Fuck you. We weren't married. We were no longer together. We weren't.
Chris is shaking his head.
And I got niggas in my inbox all day, every day who I worked with because I never entertained shit. I didn't flirt with no one. I worked in a warehouse at Pepsi full of men. Full of fucking men. And I never entertained no shit like that. And then they were like, damn, how can I get a woman like you? You had a good woman. You didn't recognize it. You lost it. And then you felt like you could weasel your way back in. And because you couldn't, now you pissed off me and I'm a hoe. But I was faithful to you 7 months later after us separating. Now I'm a hoe because I slept with somebody else. So yes, I will talk about it. There you go.
And I'm sorry, but I gotta be on my girl's side here because I can totally relate. You know what I'm saying? Like my ex, when here's the the scenario. I guess when I left my ex, Tiara said, "Speak the truth." What's up, David? He's like, "Hey there, ladies. What's up, Geneva? We got Geneva watching.
Hey, Beba.
Hi, honey." So yeah, same thing. Like when I left, my ex-husband. I had plans on leaving him, right? You know what I'm saying? Because he was a narcissistic bastard and he took advantage of everything he could. You know, he was just emotionally and physically violent, emotionally abusive, like you name it. My son is still dealing with trauma from that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're still dealing with the trauma behind it. You know what I'm saying? So when I had made plans on leaving him, I'm not gonna give y'all the no. Now I'm not gonna go to specifics. I'm not gonna tell y'all the tricks. But if you want to know, inbox me because I do want to share them for people who are dealing with that because I had a trick up my sleeve and I got his ass good. Oh my god! But no, straight up, when I kicked him out of my house, the funny thing is, you know, you would think that a man take responsibility for what he did. Okay, a man, a grown adult. 37, 38 years old man, you know what I'm saying, father, you know, of 2 children at the time. You know, Malachi was his child at the time because Malachi, you know, my 13-year-old, you know, he's one of the ones he's the only one that doesn't have a father, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, all my other kids, they you know, they have a relationship with their father, whatever. So, you know, he was there as to step in and that worked out at the time, even though he was emotionally abusive to him too, so, and physically. But anyway, so we go into the breakup phase, and you know, you would think that, you know, he would own up to his responsibilities, own up to his mistakes, and, you know, try to make things better. You know what I'm saying? Instead of freaking trying to make stuff better, all he could do was talk shit and be condescending because I kicked him out of my house because he was being an asshole the whole relationship. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the cheating. That's a whole nother story. But physically violent, like that's for now. I don't care how things get in a relationship. You don't go physically violent on a woman. You just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know. And the funny thing is, he used to subtly threaten me. And we veering off here a little bit, like we do.
That's fine.
But he used to subtly threaten me and go, my last girlfriend, she used to, I hit her so hard we had to go to the emergency room. You know what I'm saying? He told me that shit. Like, how many times has he told me that? Like, I'm not kidding. This is verbatim out of his mouth. And I'm like, wow, you know. So I'm thinking like, okay,
so
well,
cute.
And he was like, well, I would never hit a woman again because the last time I hit a woman, I sent her to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So that was what he said, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I believe that. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, he goes up and he, you know, anyway, we had several fights or whatever, and you know, eventually, I had to turn into Tina Turner and go ham on that ass. But I'm just saying,
Did you make him eat the cake?
I made him eat the cake. It was his turn to eat the cake. You know what I'm saying? He ate that glass. That's what he ate.
And you know what? Because you brought up that subject real quick, I just want to touch on something.
Yeah.
Domestic violence, and anytime you put hands on someone is not okay, and I despise it even from women. I have 2 brothers. I have 3 brothers, but 2 that I grew up with, and I don't condone that. And when it comes from a man or a woman, and a woman needs to know 99.9% of the time, if you try to fight a man, you're not going to win.
You're not going to win.
A man who puts hands on a woman is incorrect, and a woman who tries to fight a man is incorrect. And if a woman ever tried to fight one of my brothers, and I have a son that I love dearly, if a woman ever tried to put hands on me, I'm going to beat your ass, period. And I don't condone violence, I don't, but it's not okay. And a lot of women try to get away with that shit, putting hands on men, throwing shit at them. Like, it's not okay for a man to do that to a woman, and it's not okay for a woman to do that to a man. Period.
That's true.
If you find yourself in a situation where it's getting heated,
leave the room.
Take a walk, get to a place where you can
have you ever been
a discussion.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've thrown stuff at somebody?
No.
Okay, well I have.
No. I have never. And that's, you know, and I think that's why, you can tell it, but I think that's one reason why I've had issues in my relationships, and they always try to say that I'm better. I told you I'm very analytical. I'm not going to say some shit even in the spur of the moment when I'm upset. I'm not going to do that.
I have something.
I'm not.
Okay, listen, okay, like you said, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship, okay? So not only were my hormones out of whack, because he put my mind in a whole different place. Like, he was emotionally abusive. My psyche was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? This was at the very beginning. I like threw his phone. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't, because he was the one, he started it. He started with the,
but you know, this is where
silent treatment.
Wait, well, listen, this is where I have to disagree. Like, when it comes to a relationship, when you see behaviors of certain people and you decide to like stay in that situation, we're just as accountable as the people who were in that relationship.
But no, I have something to say about that though, because there is something called trauma bonding that you guys should look up if you are not aware of that, and cognitive dissonance, which means basically you see everything that's going on wrong, but you can only you focus on the good as opposed to focusing on the bad. And it's actually, when you're dealing with a narcissist, like there's all of these terminology. I'm telling you, there's
Well, and I'm telling you, I understand that because that's how with my first trial,
right.
I went through that.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the only person that could bring Janelle out of her character is me.
Nah, I mean,
Is me. No,
nah.
at the end of the day, if me and you get in an argument or we have a disagreement, and I decide to say,
after
Grace,
I learned,
I'm not saying this against you.
No,
Listen,
I'm
just
saying after I learned, I was like,
I'm just saying for anyone who's in that situation, and that's the most important thing about life. And when you have reasoning, when you get to a place and like really understand some things, and it's so important for people to know and understand that there's people who are sitting in prison right now because they were with somebody or put themselves in a situation where they got tired of getting their ass whooped and killed them. Now
That's
they
what I'm
sitting in prison.
saying.
And all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you are dealing with somebody and you are interacting with someone who does not respect you and get you to a place where you feel like
But
you need to say something or do something.
We can't go there because we've both been in situations where we stayed where we know we shouldn't have stayed.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
and because of that, I've never said anything or did anything based off or contingent of what they did to me, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that anything. Don't take it personal.
I'm not taking it personal.
But
I'm
you're
just trying
saying,
to put it out there for others, people that
and
are dealing with that type of stuff.
but at the end of the day, we're all responsible.
And that's why,
us as a person.
I agree with that too. But also, I think you're right. I'm not gonna sit up here and say you're not, because looking back, I'm actually grateful that I went through that, because it was a learning experience, something that I had to experience in order to realize and see red flags and to be aware of these type of characters. That way, I could give them the boot as soon as I see their mask slip, their mask slip off. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, a lot of women stay in these men too. But I mean, I'm talking about women, of course. But I mean, a lot of women stay in these relationships because it's called trauma bonding. It's like where you're attached. It's like, have you ever heard of Stockholm syndrome? If anybody's heard of Stockholm syndrome, please type yes in the comments. But Stockholm syndrome is a syndrome basically based off of a bank robbery that happened in Sweden. I don't know how long ago. And the freaking victims of the bank robbery actually felt pity for the robbers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a psychological type of thing. It's not something that your heart can't control it. It's like your psyche is screwed up. You know what I'm saying? So I was in a state where my psyche was screwed. It wasn't like I knew what was up, but my psyche was off kilter. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I screwed up, and I realized that looking back, and that's why, if you're hands down, confusion is normally the first sign of abuse. So if you feel confused in your relationships, that's when you should take a step back and then analyze what's going on, reevaluate. Because
and that's all I'm saying. Like, that's the thing about life. Like, you have to go through some shit to experience some shit,
right,
to understand some shit. But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, when it comes to Janelle's life and what I want, what I need, and what I'm looking for, I'm the one who's responsible for that. Nobody else. And who I choose to interact with, who I choose to deal with, who I choose to conversate with, at the end of the day, deals with me, regardless of what the terminology is, no matter what.
I get where you're coming from. I respect your opinion. I do.
And I respect your opinion too, but even when it comes to my kids, like, I could tell them 1,000 times what I went through. They're not going to learn it based off of me. They're going to have to go through it. My mom tried to tell me I have to go through it. But I know at the end of the day, where I'm at right now, as we sit here and talk on Wide Awake, is based off of solely my decisions, what I decided to do. And I'm not saying that what other people didn't affect me and it didn't cause me to get to this place. But there was a lot of things that I allowed. There's a lot of things that I accepted that I shouldn't have.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Exactly. I guess that's my point. There's a lot of things that I put up with that I shouldn't have. I mean, like, when my ex when he put his hands on me for the 4th time, that's when I was like, you cheating on me, you being a narcissist, and you want to put your hands on me? Oh, nigga, I'm out. Like, that was the freaking straw that broke the camel's back. He threw the keys at me, and then tried to run up on me, start punching on me, and I had to call my son for help. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, this is not going to work. Like, you're not going to throw the keys at me. You know what I'm saying? And I probably, I don't think I initiated it, but it was already heated. Okay, and he was getting ready to leave because we know how we get when we, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you being a bitch, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but he threw the keys at me though, right at my face. Thank God they missed.
Yes.
Thank God he didn't play baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. But then on top of throwing the keys at me, that was one thing. Okay, he could have got away with that. Not even got away with it, but that would have been a little lesser. But he comes up to me, start punching. I'm like, oh y'all. And I start calling for my son, you know what I'm saying? He's the same height, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, get your ass down here and come get this nigga off of me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the last straw. I'm like, nigga, you can't treat me like that, cheat on me, and then freaking put your hands on me. That was the 4th time, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, hands down, like, looking back, I knew something was off, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
And I completely understand. And I don't know if you remember, or do you remember the night that me and you were having that conversation? I told you why I wanted to do the show.
We had a bunch of those.
No, where you were standing outside of the truck. So
you keep telling me about that night. Please explain the night.
Okay,
I was so.
This is why I wanted to do the show.
So hurt. And
when me and Gracie first linked back up, we were both married, and we were like, okay, hey, let's like do a couple things. We can hang out, like husband, wife, have fun, do stuff. Well, when we finally decided to link up, both of our marriages were like in a lot of trouble. So we went to this reggae club one night. And
it was Opal.
Opal.
Yeah.
And we had a great night, but there was just like a lot of shit that was going on with you. I wasn't as far into like my trauma or drama in my marriage.
I was at the end of mine, and you were going towards mine. You were at the beginning of the ending, and I was at the end. The end, yeah.
And you were standing outside of my window, and it was freezing outside.
She kept telling me about this night,
and we were all lit. So you were sitting outside of my window, like shivering, and I'm telling you, like, to get in the car. And you're like, no, like, listen to what I'm telling you. And you were, like, explaining to me, like, where you were at in your relationship and how it affected you. And I remember looking at your face and how it made me feel. And I remember being at a place and a point in my life where I felt that same way. And, like, I'm like, Gracie, get in the car. It's cold. And you're like, no, like, just listen to me. And at that moment,
I needed an ear. Like, I was so desperate for just a fucking
someone to
ear.
Listen.
I was dying inside.
And you were standing outside. We literally sat outside for like an hour and a half. And she has like a blanket on her freezing. And she's just like pouring her heart out. And I was like, damn, like people need to know how that shit feels and to know they're not alone. And even when we disagree, like this is someone who I love, my confidant. Like she has seen me even this year, like the things that I've gone through, and it's so important. We're not always gonna agree, but you're an amazing woman. I respect you and I understand what you've been through. And I just want people to know, like, life is real. You have one chance to live this shit. If someone's not adding to your life, if someone's not supporting you, if someone's not giving you what you need, cut that off. People say, oh, there's no perfect relationship. But you can have a relationship where that relationship is good. You can be with a partner who's your best friend. You can be with someone who really loves you and holds you down.
Or you can be by yourself and
or by yourself.
And I'm not saying that, you know, because some people are codependent. They don't like to be by themselves, but that's okay. Sometimes taking some time away from a relationship, you can still, I guess, get your freak on, whatever, have dates and here and there and stuff, but just to focus on yourself and just freaking build yourself back up again is a good thing. Taking a break in between your relationship, like Sierra, who was that? Carrie Hilson. She was like taking breaks in between relationships, and I'm like, and I'm not even taking a break purposely. Like God is not sending me a nigga in my life right now because I'm not ready. You know what I'm saying? Like fine. I'm just, and I don't want to be ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready because after what I went through with that dude, like for real, like he laid down a world of trouble on me. We have a ton of comments.
Damon Pryor said, "What kind of boys are you women selected?" Wow. So, Damon, let me ask you something.
We're not selecting.
Have you never been with a woman who did not respect you or didn't treat you right? Are you married? Are you madly in love? Let's talk about your relationship.
Thank you, for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's trying.
No, I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm just asking, like, where are you at in life? Have you not found yourself in the same situation?
I mean, maybe once, maybe not a lot.
And this is the thing about relationships and people. People are chameleons. People are very good
He had a mask.
allowing things to be something different than what they.
Yes.
People say, "Oh, wait 6 months." Me and my husband, ex-husband, waited almost 6 months before we were ever intimate. Worked together every single day. We're with each other for 12 hours at work.
She
talking.
Supposedly know him.
You think that you would know that person.
Somebody, yeah.
You don't. A person is only going to tell you what they want to tell you. A person's only going to allow you to get to know them for the way that they want to.
It's called, what do they call it? It's called showing their representative. Like they come in a relationship and they have this mask on. It's a representative. It's what it is. It's somebody who's they don't give their full character. They don't show their full self. They make you they make you fall in love with them, and then they take the mask off, and then it's too late. And then by then you're like, And then by
Like
then you're
Jason.
so sucked into the whirlwind, into the freaking quicksand that you're trying to freaking get the fuck out.
And
And
you
every
can't.
time you move, you just like you
And you
get stuck.
can't.
And I'm telling you, that's how. Anyway, so okay, we got more. We got way
we
more.
we might just run a little bit over today. I'm sorry, just because this is the last one, Chris. Can we? Just a little bit.
Okay.
So, and this is another thing, like on Facebook, like people, you post a picture or you say something, people in your inbox, just because someone looks good
Thank
or
you.
is tantalizing, don't mean that's you might want it, but it doesn't mean that you're ready for it. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, like it's
yeah.
just people have this idea in their head for everyone. If you are not at a place or a position when you meet someone who got their shit together, sit your ass down.
And go,
Period.
you know what I'm saying? Don't even, why even, that we had this conversation in the last couple of episodes. If you're not in a position to date somebody, because I was talking to this guy, fine ass nigga. Oh my God, like he was like 6'3", he had a nice body, he was from Detroit, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Detroit. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Had his shit together, he's so fine.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, why did he put me on the back burner? I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like, I'm not arrogant about it, but I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a prize. If you fuck with me, then you have won something. You know what I'm saying? And my ex used to say that shit about him, so I'm not trying to even go there with the lottery crap and all that shit. But no, real talk. Like, I am a queen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have my faults. I have my mistakes. I've made
Everyone does.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I've lived my life.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? But when I love somebody, I love hard, you know, and now I'm at that point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Not like that, but I don't have time for games.
No, I
you know what I'm
understand what you're
saying?
saying.
That's what I mean by I don't give a fuck. It's like, I don't have time for these games. He want to put me on the back burner, text me whenever he feel like it. He don't ever want to see me, this and this. And this was, you know, a month ago or whatever, so I haven't talked to him since because I don't have time. Because he's not giving me the time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to, like, say, can we meet up? I say, can we meet up or whatever? He's like, well, I can only meet up such and such days. I'm like, okay, well, how about, you know, this day? He's like, well, damn, I got family in town. Always
we were just talking about this. So someone who's really into you is gonna take the time. You have the opportunity to meet like someone that is really important to me and has a lot of positive things going on in his life, like. A lot of positive stuff, not just like mediocre stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's doing the damn thing, and for someone to take that time out and to show you those things, is
and to spend time with you when you have time. Yeah,
like we said, Barack Obama was the president of the United States,
and you see Michelle was still banging her ass every day. Saying, you know, like I mean, much love to the first lady. You know what I'm saying? Like I love you to death, and you know what I'm saying, but. You know, yeah.
Also, Damon said, no, there's a trial period for me, ladies, which is probably why I'm single. I agree with you, ladies. However, I always pay attention to the fruits that women bear. If women are not bearing good fruit,
then I roll.
Hey, and you know what?
That's good for you, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because a lot of women aren't like that, because like we talked about before in our show, I'm sorry to...
No, you're fine.
Women are susceptible to falling for bullshit. Because we have this vision of this knight in shining armor, the bullshit that they read us in those freaking books when we're little and shit, about little girls having this amazing husband that's going to come along on a horse and shit and pick us up. We fall for that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's why my ex-husband only dates younger women, because they still fall for that shit. He won't date someone our age because we at this point, we're like...
Men are visual and women are more emotional. So when we hear things and we're emotionally and verbally stimulated. So that's, you know, and people can say what they want to, but when you have someone who's prodding and caressing you and telling you all these things and giving you all this stuff that you've never had in the beginning, and you can say bearing fruit, but...
Real talk.
It doesn't, like, you could be with, I know people who have been with someone, okay, so I was watching this TV show, and they were showing, like, men who were transitioning into women, or women that were transitioning into men, and they had several people who were married for 25 years, 35 years, like, long-term relationships, and these people were in love with their partner, and then kind of find out now because of where life in media and what people accept, people are now coming out of the closet or coming into this person who they wanted to be. So now you have someone who you've been with for 35 years, you have 4 kids, you have $275,000 in stocks and bonds in your 401k and have a beautiful house, and now your husband tell you like,
he want to be a woman.
I want to be a woman, and I saw how detrimental it was. But that is what people need to know and understand. Life it doesn't have any guidelines. It doesn't have any rules. There's no restrictions, and that's why life is so fucked. Life is the most fucked up, most beautiful thing that anyone could ever experience.
It's the most fucked up, beautiful thing that I put
on my Facebook.
Yes.
It's fucked up. It's 2 months ago. I was at a place where I was so depressed, so sad, like going through it, and now I'm at a place 2 months later, like where I'm so happy and feeling good. I had my first like life crisis at 34 years old, and I didn't even know if I wanted to do this shit anymore. I'm being honest. If it weren't for my kids and the people who really loved and cared about me, I would have been like, fuck it. If I didn't have kids, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
That's what I'm
being
saying.
honest.
Me too. I would have. Yeah, I could attest to that too, because after being with a narcissist, like, I mean, I sat around the table a couple times with a bottle of wine and a bottle of pills, you know what I'm saying? Because just because of where I was in my mind and where I was. And if you see the trailer, you understand I'm talking about Rise from the Ashes. You could Google it, risefromtheashesmovie.com or whatever. You could check it out. It's deep, you know what I'm saying? Because I was under a psychological, abuse. And psychological abuse is worse than physical. Well, not worse, but
it's bad.
It's really, I don't know if it's worse.
I don't say it's worse, but it's bad. Because you question yourself about everything.
You question yourself about everything. Like my ex, he would say, like, well, you ain't never going to get married again. Because I always talk about leaving him. Like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? Peace deuces. And he's like, ain't nobody going to marry you. You know what I'm saying? You got 4 kids. Who the fuck is going to want to marry you? You know what I'm saying? So, like, whether in the back of my head, like, at first I'm like, bitch, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying?
But then when you're by yourself, you're like,
oh my God, is he right? Like, I'm still single. You know what I'm saying? 2 years later. But I think that 2.5 years later, but I think that what I needed was a reflection time. Like, I appreciate the time that I had. I mean, yes, it's not. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not lonely, because I'm human, and we all crave, the opposite sex or the same sex, companionship. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So big up to my ex, because I'm sure he's watching this. So yes, it is a little lonely at the top. But I'm at the top, baby. You know what I'm saying? So get it right. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna be lonely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, it's not even about that. I'm just saying.
I mean, like, in that sense.
No, I know.
As far as the things that you're accomplishing and the things that you're doing in life.
Yes,
I told you, like, 6 months ago, even, like, and I don't want this to sound, like, arrogant.
That's
or
shit. I'm
condescending
sorry.
or arrogant, but when we first, all of us started talking about this, a few months ago, it was just a vision. It was just something that we were talking about. And for us to be a new show, us doing our 12th episode, us having, like, in the very beginning, like, over 1,000 followers, like, that's something that to, like, be very proud of. Like, when you can take your pain and the things that you went through in life that were negative and turn it into a positive, people are going to hate it.
Turn it into a creative, turn it into something creative that can help others, you know what I'm saying? That's where Chris is dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so stupid. No, take it into something. Take your pain. Like, what I've been doing, and I'm going to mention this since this is the official, I guess, last episode of the first season, you know what I'm saying, of season 1. So, what I've been doing, what we've been doing, especially over the last year and a half, like, we have been through a lot in this last 2 years, actually, together, like, together and separately, you know what I'm saying, and through all of this healing and all of these phases and stuff, that, because it's process, it's phases, you know what I'm saying, so it takes time to experience and to understand why you went through what you went through, you know what I'm saying, and I'm grateful for, what I went through was painful as hell. I mean, it's still painful. Like, I still have moments where I'm just like, I still doubt myself. I'm not even gonna sit here and say that I'm perfect and that because I left my ex narcissistic husband that I'm okay. I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with saying that I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying? I wear my shit on my sleeve, like, straight up. Like, if you don't like it, and especially for him, like, I'm sure he's watching it and he hates this because for me to be exposing it is what's really hurting worse than anything else. Like, I'm not holding it in. No, I'm straight up. It's on my sleeve. It's on my henna. You know what I'm saying? My pain. You see the pain? Yeah, it's right
and we
there.
were talking about when we got that henna yesterday. It was, like, so alleviating. Like, there was, like, so many positive vibes while we were getting it.
The henna done.
It was so dope.
It was dope.
Like, amazing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's better than your nails getting done.
It is.
Because, like, fuck the nails.
You're watching this transition of her starting from it's almost like life. Like, Okay, here we go, and it's going through it, and you're like, you get to see, you know, the transition, and then like now here you are at the outcome, and then yesterday we're looking at it, and we're like, oh,
because it was black yesterday, but now it's brown. So
I had a date yesterday, so Gracie was having to help me put lotion on and shit.
I had to
hold my hand out while I'm taking a shower.
I'm
like, get the back,
get the back. Don't forget the booty. Don't forget the. I had to get the booty right.
I had to get the booty. So.
Just kidding. I hope you're not watching, Mom.
But no,
no, I'm just playing.
It's not like that. But it was just so dope. Like, so we're talking and listening to music, and I'm like, should I put a plastic bag on?
I was like, you don't need a plastic bag.
But it was just a dope transition. I had just gotten off of work, long week, like worked. I can't tell you how many hours, and that's the most beautiful thing about life, like having people in your life where you can have new experiences.
You know, and that's what I did. I prayed so hard for somebody to come into my life that can help me through this transition, you know what I'm saying? And not only to help me through the transition, but to be there for decades after the transition. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a stepping stone. I want like a life partner, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Somebody that's going to be my ride or die, like forever, like straight up, you know what I'm saying? Like my mama got ride or die, you know what I'm saying? She's AKA, you know what I'm saying? So she got, you know, I don't know if that's Delta A, I don't know what it is. But anyway, she got like, you know, a couple of her buddies that's, you know, associated with like the Alpha, you know what I'm saying, sorority. So, you know, she got her buddies, and I grew up with these girls, ladies, women, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up with these women, and they still tight to this day, and I'm like, you know, and I'm like, damn,
and here we are, how many?
13, you know what I'm saying, 13 years. Malachi was
when we first started hanging out, like, we were babies. We weren't even women. Like, I was just to that point in transition.
She was a baby.
I was a baby.
She was a baby. I was like 27. No, I'm just playing.
You're older than I am.
I'm a little.
I say a few years.
I'm a little older, but
you can't tell though. You look young as hell. So you know, like.
We gotta let's comment. Let's comment. Go way back, because we got a way back to go.
How do you say? I don't know. I'm horrible at saying names. Kiana.
Oh, hey, Mama. Hi, Kiana. I love you.
That was my white side canal.
That's my sister. She said Kiana. No, that's Kiana. That's my sister right there.
Don't judge me, girl.
No, it's all good. It's good.
People make time for the things that they find important. 100%. Laugh out loud. Presidential pipe game.
I saw that too. I was like, oh hell no.
Prince Charming. You have to be your own Prince Charming.
Thank you for telling us that. But can you teach your daughters that?
But you know what? And
make sure you teach your daughters, your nieces, and all that stuff.
You can have a king. Just like a king can have a queen. And the only reason why I say that, and I'm not, like, the fairy tale thing, okay, whatever the case is.
Speaking of us, we talking about it right now. No, this is a song. Turn this up, Chris, please. This is no fairy tales. Anita Baker. This is not a game. I don't look for my love in the sky, baby. Need reality now. Say don't look, I don't know the words. To be pacified, don't you try. Why I know your life never came to save me. You left me stand alone.
How the song come on right now?
Alone in the cold. You know what I'm saying? Poets. I'm just saying. I'm not even trying to be funny. You can turn it down. I'm not even pineapples.
Wait, Xavier had to come and poke his head.
Sorry. We got Boo just walked in. He's like, oh, y'all crazy. But no, seriously. This is Anita Baker. It's called Fairy Tales. It's not just us. It's a girl thing. It's called Fairy Tales. If y'all have not heard the song, check it out. It's called Fairy Tales by Anita Baker. We were raised as little girls to think that a man is going to come and sweep us off our fucking feet. So whenever we see a guy that has this fucking mask on and we're just excited that he's just everything we want to be, and that mask crumbles and the real demon comes out. No, I'm serious.
Oh shit, she's the demon.
The demon, the monster.
Hey.
All right, y'all. We got a lot of comments. Sang it, dang. Who was saying it, Damon?
Well,
everybody has masks.
I always talk about it.
Everybody has masks.
Chris, do I not speak? Wait, hold on.
Everybody has masks.
Do I not speak up for the men all the time? I'm the one who always speaks up for the men.
Sorry, y'all. We got Boozilla in the house.
Boo, wait. I always speak up for the men.
All right, y'all. All right, now we're getting a little carried away.
No, that's real though. That's real. I always speak up for the men.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah, she does more than I do. I don't really give a fuck about the men, sorry. But she does.
I do.
She does. I get
double
that.
sided.
Hands down, no. I used to be the same way. I used to be like that. So yes, that's great. I really don't care about the men's view anymore. It'll come back eventually, but after I go through this phase, because I'm in a phase of healing.
And that's
I was about to
fine.
say something worse, but
all I know is that when you go through life, you're gonna meet good people, bad people. I'm half black, half white, Indian. Like, you gonna meet racist people. You gonna meet fucked up men. You gonna meet fucked up women. You gonna, girl, wait. I saw Jurassic Park last night.
oh yeah, you did. So you're like, oh shit, a monster,
monster.
freaking. What do you call not a monster, but okay, yeah, we
But
gotta
what time?
roll
Wait,
out.
I thought we said we get
We're
to go
gonna go a little
longer
over.
today.
We got 3
What
minutes
time
over.
is it?
All right, can I say one more thing?
Wait, no, we
Kia?
have to wait. No, we have to cover the last subject.
No, we can't cover the last subject, but because I got my homegirl finally tuned in, and she doesn't have time to tune in, but she did comment. Kiana, she said, "My mom, is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, my mom raised to believe in the fairy tale of getting married and being a housewife, stay-at-home mom. After marrying young and later and divorcing my dad, she raised me to be independent. I didn't marry until I was 34. Having a life partner is a blessing, but shouldn't define oneself, and being married isn't the end all be all." Yeah, so word up, Kiana. Thanks. Enrique's watching. Thanks for watching. No, straight up though, you know, because being married does not define who you are. Like, and a lot of women are raised to be wives, or to be, you know, I guess duped. To
Nothing should define you as a person except for who you are. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you've been through in life, what you've experienced, the people who you kick it with. Like, just be who you are. Like, period. And it is what it is.
We ain't gonna be able to get into the. I wanted to get into that so bad, Chris. Can we?
You said that we can go a little bit, just like 10 minutes, please.
Because we have one more topic.
Just one more.
That's
That's
juicy
really
though.
important. We wanted to get the meat.
Okay. All right.
So
One more meat. Yes.
sex.
Sex.
Let's talk about
Sex, baby. Let's talk
And
about you.
when you're in a
me.
relationship. How often should you have sex?
Can I be honest with you?
No.
Even though me and my ex, we had double trouble. But we had sex 3-4 times a day up until the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Even after the divorce, we were still fucking.
Daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
It was a daily thing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Sorry.
Sex is a beautiful thing. It is. Like, you should get it in. We're talking about, even if you got family over, you got the barbecue going, you know what I'm saying? You might have to just take a little bathroom bacon.
We have done that before. We just snuck off in the laundry room. Like, my company was over, like, screw this, let's get a quickie and shit. Like,
But a lot of people, like, aren't, like, they're maybe shy or not into that, but sex is important. Sex is a form of intimacy.
It
so
is.
If you dealing with
builds
somebody,
bonds. Yeah.
it does. It builds a lot of shit. Kids.
Don't have no more kids. I'm just playing.
No, hell, I'm
No,
so
I'm just
thankful
playing.
I can't build any more of those.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Deal with the babies. But yeah, what do y'all think? How often should you have sex in a marriage and relationship? Because marriage, from what I've heard, I have never been a witness to this, because I have, you know, always given it up. Not even given it up. I've always been a participant in sex and marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about this statement when they say that women don't have sex when you get married. I have no idea.
that's crazy to me.
Well-
if you have a partner and your partner wants something, like, we were talking about this last night too, like, women will, you know, in the very beginning, like, suck their man's dick all the time,
All
just
the
like
time.
to appease him, but then they get in a relationship and they're like, oh, my jaw hurts, I'm not doing that shit no more.
I got
or
a headache,
or a man be like, yeah, girl, I'm
I
gonna
can eat
tear that
that.
pussy up.
Right.
And then here we are a month later, and
Not even a
now, or whatever the case may be, like, you putting it down in the beginning because you want to, like, you know,
You got
show
your mask
her,
on. You got your mask on.
and then, like, all of a sudden, like, you ain't doing that shit. If you
Right.
are dealing with someone, like, you should appease them.
Completely. Like, don't, if you're not something, that's what we talk about all the time. If you're not that person in the beginning, don't show that
Then don't
person.
show
in the
them
beginning.
that.
Don't.
How you started is how you should finish it.
Exactly. And I mean, like,
And not everyone deserves everything. So if you live in that single lifestyle and, you know what I'm saying, just having fun, like,
that's different.
Not
We're
every
talking
dick
about
needs to go in your mouth.
about building something. We're talking about building something with somebody in the image you give when you're trying to build something with that person. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about like you just banging people every night or
No.
whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about building something. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So-
very domesticated, so if I'm in a relationship, I don't care if I've been at work for 12 hours. If I come home and you want something to eat, I'm gonna cook for you.
Thank
and after
you.
I cook for you, if you want your dick sucked, then that's just what I'm gonna. No, I'm being
I'm
honest.
laughing because
but
I can relate those straight up.
I haven't really dealt with a lot of people. I've been, you know what I'm saying, married. Like, it's not something that everyone gets. But if you dealing with someone that makes you feel real and they got your back like that, I don't care how tired I am. Like, you take care of me, I'm gonna take care of you. Period.
But I think, first of all, can I say something on that? Because I think a lot of women have. The reason why I think, I'm not going to say this is the reason, but I think, I'm not going to say this is the reason, but a lot of women I think kind of renege on sex. It's because men don't know what the fuck they doing to begin with. So women don't even appreciate sex to begin with. Women are like, it's like either like this, and he's coming or whatever, he's gone, that's the sex, or the sex is whack, he's too big, he's small, he can't fuck, something, you know what I'm saying? Or the female may have been through some type of trauma in her past, sexually, you know what I'm saying, sexual abuse, all that type of stuff that plays into a role into that. And then on top of that, women have insecurities with our bodies that we're like, oh my god, are my titties big enough? Is my ass big enough?
But what about like women? I think for a lot of women, because I work in the airport and there's like a lot of people who are passing through. For a lot of men, a lot of women don't take care of themselves in their hygiene. So for a man, maybe they're not comfortable to tell her like, yo, you ain't smelling too fresh, or it's not too good. I'm gonna just hop in and hop out, like, just so she feels like I was kind of a part of the situation. Because if I was a man, like, that's a touchy subject.
I don't know. I'm
just saying, like, honestly, it's not just.
It happens. No, it happens. You know, it's called BV. Again, we talk about this.
Not even just that, BV. Though. Like, what if it's not good?
Yeast infection.
No, I'm just saying, what if it's not good?
What if it's not good sex?
Because, like, women will fake an orgasm. For a man, what if he is like,
oh, yeah,
like, this bitch shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to go both ways.
But that's where the communication comes in at. Look, straight
and I told you, even if a man is with a woman and she got some good shit, if you really got some bomb-ass pussy, how is the nigga really gonna be able to last long?
Nah, I have some. I'm just saying, I have have my experiences, and regularly, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was not a game, you know what I'm saying? We was regular on that shit, you know what I'm saying? And just saying. Anyway, but thank you, because that's
okay, so we're going to wrap it up. So when you're in a relationship or you're dealing with someone, everyone has needs. And I'm also a firm believer, even if you're in a relationship or a marriage, like, if you're mad, like, a partner shouldn't have to sleep on the couch. A partner shouldn't have to go without. I don't give a fuck how mad I am at you or what we're dealing with in our relationship. If you tell me to put your face down, ass up, that's how I'm going to give it to you. Because regardless of what we're going through, like, it's your partner.
That's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, too, because as we wrap up,
wrap it up, y'all.
Don't forget to wrap it up, though. And we mean that literally. Like condoms. So, but anyway, straight up. But, you know, we mean that literally, too.
Literally.
But we talking about the show as well. But anyway, as we wrap it up, I think that a lot of women also have past emotional damage that has taken a toll on them. That's why they're not even sexually attracted to their partner. You know what I'm saying? That's another big thing. You guys have to understand that women hold shit in. Women can remember shit from like 2012, 2011, from like back to like 1999. You know what I'm saying? Women remember that shit because it's just embedded in us. It's programmed into us. It's psychological. It's scientifically proven that women do remember stuff more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So yes, we remember that shit. So if you did something back in 1999 that we still dwelling on, we probably ain't fucking you, and that's probably because we dwelling on that old shit.
But you know what? As women, and we keep saying we're gonna wrap it up. As women, it doesn't matter. Like, you can have, communication is key. So if something happens, you have to communicate. But you should not withhold sex from your partner because you're upset. It's not right. It's really not. You might not be at a place. You might not be at a place emotionally.
Wait, because I can't emotionally attach to you.
But wait,
like, there's no emotion there. Not literally, but no.
If you are that upset with your partner and y'all can't have a conversation, y'all don't need to be together.
But the fucked up thing about that,
Wait, I would still be with you. Wait, I'm gonna still be with you, but I'm not gonna have a conversation with you. I'm not gonna fuck you, and I want you to sleep on the couch. Like, we
don't sleep on the couch. That's why we always end up fucking, because he sleeps with me anyway. Slept.
Okay, so
anyway,
that's what I'm saying. So something different.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, yo, check us out, yo. First season, turn us up, yo. We about to be out, yo. This is
catch us on season 2 in a couple weeks.
We gotta get it.
I can't stand up because my ass is gonna hang out.
Your ass is hanging out. Get your ass out.
Let me see. Hold on, wait.
Chris is like, y'all got to get off. Like, damn.
He said you have to end it.